stuff, like stuff on the radio, or like if my dad had like an album. But my mom, I mean, foreign, we really listened to a lot of Cape Verdean music, like Portuguese foreign music. Like, that, you ever see the memes of like waking up to clean the house on Saturday and your mom's busting this song? That was me. And I grew up in a single mother household, so I only really got that other music when I was in my dad's car. So yeah, I grew up not listening. Like people talk like they're like, oh, you didn't grow up listening to like Marvin Gaye and this and that, and I'm like,
first off, you were way too young for that shit. I mean, I guess not, but like, I mean, my dad. I mean, shit. I mean, now that I actually look at it, I mean, they listen to a lot of different music, but I mean, I was never sheltered from music. I listened to. I never forgot. I was like probably like, what were we like 10 years old when 112 had anywhere. We were like 10, right? Oh my god, I could never hear that song. You know that song? Anywhere? Oh my god, I'm gonna play it. I feel like you that sheltered. Oh my god.
No. It was so bad for me.
What?
So bad for me. And because so much of like that good music from the time was like sweary or like, you know, just not about the best images.
Wait, so you never heard this song?
Like G-Unit merch and stuff, but I'm gonna assume my mom didn't know how negative they were.
You're gonna make me do it. Oh my god.
Like 50 Cent was my favorite artist growing up as a kid.
He was all of our favorite artists.
Yo, you mentioned you had the merch. What kind of merch did you have?
I had the sneakers.
With the spinning wheel on them and shit?
Nah, I wish. I had the ones that were like rip-offs of the Air Forces.
Oh yeah. Did you get the
jersey?
The I don't want to say white vehicle. I think the freaking singlet type thing. You know, like they had the. You know what I'm talking about? Or was it like a
Kind of like a vest?
It looked like a vest, but it was like a freaking undershirt type shit.
I'm gonna guess not.
Okay. All right, well, we're already here. Let's do this shit. I'm your host, Harry Dancer. Here, I think around this area, I'm like the Stephen A. Smith of podcasting here for cannabis. I'm cannabis Stephen A.
That's a bold statement.
I mean, they put me on every single show here.
Okay, yeah, ESPN is working that, man.
They're working me.
I mean,
you know
it's
what I'm saying?
on call, bro.
Listen. I am low-key on call as well.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
But, yes, I am your host, Harry Dancer, here with the For the Record podcast, as always. And for the record, Ravon has been sheltered his whole life.
Yeah, until I got to college.
All right, so explain to me this. I'm going to introduce you and everybody else here and what we're going to do here. But when you got to college, like...
I went crazy. And, like, in a sense where it was just, like, learning so much.
Wait, so you were sheltered all the way until, like, graduation of high school? All right, explain the shelter thing to me. I don't know how to explain
I'm going to say this one thing, and I said it to a customer the other day, and they was laughing at me so hard. Who did you know in your senior year of high school who had a bedtime?
Okay. Okay, I'll say this. Low key, I didn't have a bedtime, but my mom, we did it, but I was the last one with the bedtime. Like I was Davidson, who was our one of our camera guys and our audio guy behind the camera, and you'll hear him on the mic sometimes. He was like probably the first person I knew who didn't have a bedtime. Like his mom never cared when he went to sleep. Bro. 10 o'clock, I was like, y'all gotta call you guys back. You know what I'm saying? Like, my mom's gonna spaz. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And that was like up until I went to college. Or like you know the summer between college and like senior year of high school, pretty much up until then.
Okay, so when you got to college, how many drugs did you do?
Like a lot. Like I got to college and I no longer had to like hide the smell of weed on me.
Were you smoked in high school?
Yeah, but like not like I didn't start smoking until like February of senior year of high school. So like didn't have too much time. Well, yeah, I guess not too much time, but even back, I mean, even when I would come home, I would still like be spraying on my clothes. You do not walk into the house smelling like weed. You learn that the easy way, and not even that like I ever did and got caught. You just it's so disrespectful. You know you'll get your ass beat.
You see, it's so funny that, like, see, me personally, I didn't even smoke until college, till sophomore year of college, actually.
That's wild.
I
I wouldn't believe that.
I didn't even drink alcohol until sophomore year of college.
Same low key. I didn't start drinking until like college.
None of that stuff was for me. Like, my parents had nothing to worry about when it came to that in high school, because I was just like, oh yeah, like one day I'm gonna go to the NBA. For the longest, it didn't happen. Then I was like, oh my god, like smoking stunts your growth, and I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta get freaking to 6 whatever. And none of those things happened. I was like, I'm gonna smoke this blunt, man.
It's gonna smoke straight up.
We're gonna smoke this. We're gonna smoke this.
So how did you come into your first smoking in college?
All right, so for a whole summer, I would like, I mean, do you guys know summertime, like, all I would do was like work out, trying to play ball every single day. We would all play ball, but like, they were more into, not, I wouldn't say Kofi, because Kofi wasn't really like that at that time, but Davison, and some of the other people we were with after freshman year, they were really into it. Like, they were like smoking every day. And I would be with them. I'm like, damn, I literally be like, why you guys even smoking? This is the dumbest shit ever.
I was one of those people. I'd be like, yo, how do you smoke every day? What are you doing?
Like, literally, like, this is the dumbest thing ever. Why are you smoking? And then sophomore year came early in the year, and I was with some of my boys from school. So I used to be the designated driver because, again, I told you I didn't drink or smoke the whole time. So I was always drive. And every time we would drive, they would be like, hey, you want to smoke? And I'm like, nah. I would always say no. Every single time. They're like, nah, I'm good. And, you know, one day it was homecoming, and my boy was like, yo, you want to hit this? And I was like, all right, let me see this shit. And everyone paused and was like,
Harry smoking.
Yo, all right, let me show you how to do it. Let me show you how to do it. You know, everyone's like got freaking like sucking the air type bullshit they try to say when you first smoke. I'm like, all right, bro, I got this. Relax. I smoked. And I was like a little bit high. Like, I wasn't like blasted, but I was like a little bit high, and I was like, okay. But then the first time I really knew I was high, my boy was like, yo, come through. Let's just smoke real quick. And he rolled up some White Widow. I'll never forget it. And I was when I got back to my room, I had a bag of Doritos. I believe it was blue Doritos. And I was so clapped, and my roommate was sleeping. And I was trying to open it. I'm like, oh my God, this is so loud. Like, there's no way I can like be this loud opening a bag of chips. I had to walk outside of my room to open the bag. And I ate the chip. I'm like, oh my God, this is the loudest snack I've ever had. So once I did that, I was like, I was high. I was so high. Like, it was hilarious. It was hilarious. I mean, what about yourself?
My first time smoking was for one of my friends' birthday parties that we had at, like, we call them tellies back then. I don't know if we still call them that, but
yeah, I mean,
I haven't been to one ever since, I don't think.
Okay.
But yeah, at a telly, and we was getting bud for homie's birthday. And so, in fact, my friends prepared me for it. We picked up the bud. They had me, like, smoke a little bit at, like, 5 p.m. before everyone, like, got, and they were like, all right, like that, when we get to the party, it's not your first time doing it. You're for it.
That's actually some good friends, because if you went in there and you didn't know what you were gonna expect with all those
100%,
people,
100%.
It could have been bad.
Granted, like, we were hosting it, but like still, yeah, I didn't want to be in
yeah.
there tweaking around all these people. And granted, I wasn't super tweaking, but I was with the kid who would get super paranoid. And as you know, with the overprotective mother, I would just be like, is that my mom's car? I'd be scared about everything, bro. And in fact, I smoked with I want to say there was a girl in the car who like I grew up with. They're like our moms were pregnant at the same time type shit. Like they knew each other. Like we even lived together up until like a certain point.
Okay.
And I was like, yo, she's gonna go home and tell her mom. Then her mom's gonna tell my mom. And I was freaking out. So I can only imagine what you were like, because you were a sophomore in high school. I mean, in college. So like, were you still like freaky out?
Nah, I mean, honestly, because like I said, I watched everyone do it for so long, right? And by the time I actually did it, I say I was more of an adult. Granted, I didn't like smoke the first time, but I'm smoking every day. Like I was smoking like, I could probably count how many times I smoked that first year. Probably like 10 times the whole year.
You wasn't fiending.
I wasn't like as whatever, and I was still working out like every day. So I was like, oh yeah, you guys can smoke. I'm just gonna work out, whatever. But then I feel like when I got to Dartmouth, that's what really, like, it fucked me up. Like it like that place in general, like there's nothing to do. You're in the middle of
boonies.
nowhere,
Yeah.
and you have nowhere else to go.
There's
so
nothing to
it's
do in the
like,
city. And the campus is enclosed
Yes.
as a circle,
Yes,
bro.
yes. So
You just get weed and find new different spots around the campus to smoke in the forest. It was great.
oh yeah, I mean we just did it out the window, but you know,
You liked being on like probation and stuff like that?
it almost happened, but yeah, no.
Must be nice. Some of us didn't beat the case like that. Great. I finished. I graduated, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, stuff's not cool. Stuff's not cool.
All right, well, hold on. Okay, let me introduce this podcast real quick. Okay, again, For the Record Podcast, I'm your host, Harry, here with my co-host, and I think a new podcaster in general,
Yeah.
Ravon. Sometimes you might hear us refer to him as Blade, or I might call him Raven or Ravon. You know what I'm saying? You never know what I'll come with.
Yeah.
But my man Ravon, let's give him a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Do I clap for
You can
myself?
clap for yourself, man. You know what I'm saying? You feel good. Behind the camera, we have, you know, my family member. You know what I'm saying? Kobe, as always. What's going on?
What's up, man?
You know what I'm saying? And behind that, my partner in crime when it comes to audio, and also now the new visual guy as well, Davison. You know what I'm saying? How you doing?
Yeah, but dapper.
They'll just help you guys, you know, once in a while. If you guys have any questions that they could think of, you know, to help navigate a little bit, and we'll answer any questions. The show in general is really going to talk about everything between cannabis. We'll talk about our first times. We'll talk about love. We'll talk about anything we really want to talk about.
Straight up.
But every single week you'll get something from cannabis, and you know we work in the industry. Me and Ravon are both. I don't like to say bud tenders, but
Yeah, I wouldn't call myself
I
that.
wouldn't call myself that either.
There's like legit titles to be going around.
I mean, all right. So I mean, you say your title, and I'll say mine, just so I don't try to feel like I'm over exaggerating mine.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna say brand coordinator.
Okay, I'm gonna say content creation lead.
Why?
I mean, I do all the podcasts here, and I'm the one who actually has to come up with most of the stuff.
But why call it content creation?
Oh, okay, you got me there. You got me there.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let me come up with a different name. Yeah. See, you know why?
And if that's the case too, like that term just springs for like so much stuff in terms of what content is.
So should I call myself I just call myself a cannabis artist. I'm an artist.
You're hilarious.
I'm just an artist. I am the artist.
You are the artist.
I'm the artist. That's it. That's my title, the artist. But if you see it on LinkedIn, it's gonna say content creation lead. But yes. So I'm sure you guys are trying to figure out why we're qualified to even be talking to you guys. I'll say this. So I want to do a podcast probably since like 2017. I used to listen to Joe Budden podcast all the time, and I used to listen to like Drink Champs and all these other shows, and I'm like, this is great. You come, you talk about the stuff that you know. Me and my friends argue about everything. It made sense for us. We're not rappers. The next best thing, we talk shit. You know, it's the next best thing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I feel like I can write a good song. I feel like I can write a song, but I can't rap. I feel like anybody can make one hit at least. Like you can be at least good enough to make one.
One hit. That's for sure.
But podcasting made sense for me. And as always, for the first year, nothing happened. You just want to do it. At that point, I was really a underachiever. Just wanted to do it. And we didn't, we kind of, moseyed around. And 2018, what was it, 2018, 2019? We started the process around 2018, buying equipment, buying stuff. In 2019, it really happened. This is not COVID, is it? It's not COVID yet. Our first year wasn't COVID yet, and we were going through it. And we threw a party. The problem was we did everything that you need to do for a podcast except for be organized.
Podcast. Oh, okay.
We did a podcast, but we just weren't organized. Like, we didn't know how to have good conversations at the beginning. Obviously, like, we have better equipment now. We just didn't know. So those days go on, and I forgot where I'm at in the story. 2019 happens, whatever. 2020, we throw a great podcast party to launch a new version of our podcast. So right now, we've already done one podcast. That was, and we're doing a second one. Mm-hmm. And this is a story about perseverance, ladies and gentlemen.
And this is like throwing a party for the second podcast?
For the second podcast. Wasn't that?
Like second episode?
No, we did. We had, yeah.
We only have one party, bro.
No, so we had one party for the new podcast, not the second one, right? This one's for a 2-week notice.
That was the only party.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And before, we had nothing. We just had Under the Influence, the show.
Yeah, but no party.
But no party. Yeah. We only had one party, but we had a show called Under the Influence. That was like our first show.
Pre-COVID.
It was pre-COVID, right? Then we had a show, 2-week notice, which is our show. If you guys go to YouTube, type in 2-week notice. Great show. It was a great experience, and it's still going on. So we'll get some more episodes out there soon. And we threw a party for that podcast, which was a great party. Absolutely.
And you threw the party before the podcast released?
Before the podcast released.
Bold.
I know. But we just PK had a crib. We had some people. We had a mimosa table. Everything. It was great. And the podcast went, but it's hard.
Mimosa table sounds hard. Is that what you just said?
Yeah, mimosa table is fire.
Okay. Wait.
Now that I work in the cannabis industry, next time I have a mimosa table, I'm going to have the strain mimosa at the end of the table.
Fair.
For those people who like those type of mimosas.
Who understand.
Exactly. Yeah. So we had that whole situation, and it's just hard to get people to come and do something while not getting paid. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's hard to get people to do something for a really long time without getting paid and just with the hope of one day getting paid. But it was reps. You just doing it over and over, and it happened. So we're going, and we get here now. We fast forward, and Ulysses is looking for people to work at his dispensary. And I'm like, yeah, why would I not want to come to the industry, cannabis? It's a great industry. You're good. If you guys hear anything in the background, we're actually in our dispensary right now, and we're recording right now. Granted, down the line, if the powers be allow it, we'll be in a much more relaxed setting where Ravon can literally let you guys. He'll teach you how to roll. I'll teach you too. I don't care.
That's straight up.
But yeah, so Ulysses is looking for some people to work, and in the interview, I happen to say like I podcast, and I've never seen someone be more excited to hear me say I podcast. So I was like, fuck it. So now his plan was to have me do this. Now to get to there was a whole nother thing.
There's a lot of obstacles there.
Now we're gonna talk about that in another episode because that's just gonna be too long of a story. But fast forward, he had me be a content creator at first, and it was different because now that you're getting paid to podcast at this point, now I can't just do whatever I want because that's what I was normally doing. My friends, we just come up with stuff and we just do it. Well, now you're doing it on someone's dime, so
real stakes.
It's a little bit different. But in all, it was a great experience as well. So this is the first episode of For the Record. this is not the first episode we recorded for the record.
No.
There's been many practice sessions. There's gonna be so much stuff you guys are gonna hear. We're gonna get some of the clips from the other episodes we recorded, and kind of integrate those within these episodes to kind of explain some things, so you guys can get a feel of where we are. You get a feel of some of the people who we work with. We have a bunch of episodes with them, and we'll get some new people on the show as well. But besides that, yeah, Ravon, do you have anything else to share? I feel like I've been talking this whole fucking time.
I guess how I came onto this podcast. I mean, Harry, when he was appointed to produce this one, said Ravon should do it. It did not go that way at first.
It did not.
But 6 months down the line, and here I am now hosting the podcast. I felt like a substitute teacher at first. I was just, replacing PK at times. And now I got the full-time job, and here we are.
Listen.
It's my first experience with this.
Listen, again. How do you feel so far?
Scared.
Scared?
A little bit, nah.
All right, let me tell you one thing. When these motherfuckers are doing stuff behind the camera, do not focus on them. They're just doing dumb shit.
Yeah, this guy actually did something really funny earlier, but I ignored it until right now.
I didn't know if you saw it or not.
Oh, no, nope. Didn't see it.
But me and you, it's just, conversation between me and you and our friends here who just happen to be listening in on our conversations. I knew Ravon would be good at the show because we have crazy conversations. Yeah. Granted, I don't know if we can go as crazy on this podcast just yet until we start getting some sponsors, and then we can start playing with some people's money.
Some money, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But until then, we're going to be nice, real PC. And then after that, I'm going to ruin the show.
We'll get raunchy, you know what I'm saying?
It will get crazy.
Yeah.
So I was talking about a story about how we got to podcasting. Now, I hated podcasting for the last 3 months. Because I started this by saying I love Joe Budden podcast. And I mean, if anybody follows, I'm sure some of you guys do follow, the team broke up. I was heartbroken. Those motherfuckers got me through some hard days.
Some tough times.
Some really tough days. And they broke the team up. So I kind of just I'm not going to listen to any of them. And I still did listen to Drink Champs, which is a great podcast. But my boy, Damani, who actually is going to be doing some of our camera work. I know you've seen some of his work.
Yeah, that film camera, nice.
Very nice. He was like, yo, go back and listen to it. And the only reason I was with him that day was because Ravon had someone who was a grower and had given us gifted us, because that's how we do in the industry, some of the...
His latest batch, pretty much.
Some of the greatest stuff I've ever consumed in my life. It was very nice. No hangover after. I know some of you guys who do, smoke on the regular. That next day waking up for me is a little bit of I hate it. It felt great. So shout out to Ravon. I gotta give him another round of applause for that one. That one deserves a real round of applause.
Shout out to the grower, honestly. That stuff was good.
Oh man. So I was with the money that day, and he was like, "Yo, listen to it. It's still good." I went back. I listened to it. I was like, "Damn, I like this show again. I like it. A
Which
lot."
one did you listen to? The Joe Budden one or the other one that the split?
I actually listened to both. First, I listened to Joe Budden, and he was talking about Meg Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez and a whole conspiracy theory on that.
Still talking about it?
Well, so I guess there was they had a hearing or something, and he was I don't want to ruin it. So if you go listen to it, I think it's episode 450 something. I don't know, 456. They have a lot of episodes. That's what I'm saying. A lot. It goes deep. And he was kind of talking about how he feels like Tory Lanez is innocent. I'm not gonna lie, and his explanation truly wasn't bad. I'm not gonna say I believe, just because that's what he said, but his explanation. That's why, I'm gonna have you listen to it after. His explanation on it was very, very good. So I was like, all right, you know what? I'm back on it. So this is why I have the energy I have right now, because I got my mojo back. You know what I'm saying? I got my mojo back. So, but then that led me to this. You were talking about, we talked the other day when we were coming up with our little pre-show, conversations, and you were talking about the difference between content and art.
Which is why I was like, don't call yourself lead content creator or content creation lead. And honestly, I got to give the shout out to the tweet that made me think about it. But because until then, I didn't think of much of a difference. But yeah, I saw a tweet about how the term content creation is like so cringe. And I was like, what? And I thought about it and I was like, yeah. The things that it does to like diminish someone's art is like insane. It's so weird how like now as like a bunch of companies, brands, and even just people building up their personal profiles and stuff need content to post and continue to have like a social presence because that's what's so important in the world. And to me, it's like now you're rushing out art, and this art is you're calling it content when it like 3-4 years ago we was calling it art, and now the word art has like lost its value a little bit type shit. Like, do you think they were calling the Mona Lisa content creation? No. It's content now. Like if you edit a picture of Mona Lisa, whatever, you make a funny caption, you post it, that's content.
Like the one with the little the devil horns on it.
It's content for somebody, you know what I mean? Like that hit hard or whatever. But like, yeah, the term content just really takes away from like the actual art and like the process that goes into art as well. Content creation just sounds, some people make it sound so easy. You know, like it's just going into like Adobe and making a graphic flyer or something. And like in a certain sense, like I believe in the term like I believe in it, but I just feel like it's gone too far where it's now diminishing art. Like a few years ago when it first started up, it was content to keep up your social presence. And now it's weird.
It's content to just put it out because
Just to put it out.
I feel like most people think that the more that you put stuff out, the more people are gonna come.
Not the case.
I'm telling you, there's no like I said, we've been doing podcasts for a while. There is no rhyme or reason on why things are good and why things are bad. It's just if no one likes what you're putting out, they're not gonna like it.
Straight up.
I don't care how many times you post it. If you're posting trash, it's still trash.
Still trash, bro.
And I'm not gonna like before the show was a much different format before. So before it was, you know, me and my cousin PK, who actually isn't here, but he'll come on some episodes. We'll get him over here. It was just us interviewing people and them answering questions, and that was not a bad show, but it wasn't the show that I could really, you know, go with day after day. Like I feel like you guys wouldn't even know us at all, and I felt like
more just content.
And that's what it really was. And that was what the expectation was from Major Bloom, which is 76 Millbury Street, Worcester, Mass. I got to plug this in because that's how we get paid.
Shameless.
But yeah, that's what they really wanted. And then, you know, we had a really productive conversation. And and Ravon was the person that said it would be productive. And I was like, it's not going to be.
Yeah, you pissed me off. You really did.
I was pissed off my damn self.
Yeah, I know.
But I had to fight for these things. You know what I'm saying? I got a certain type of, you know, fight in me, and I can't just like give that up.
Nah, I respected it actually. It was interesting to see a different side of you, like through a phone, who was like, yo, I know you haven't known me for so long, but like, this is what it is. This is how it goes. And to see you hold that energy when you almost didn't need to still, I got to applaud it.
Come on. Listen, it got us a third camera.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? So
that shit's pearl white. That shit's cute. You know what I'm saying?
It got us a third camera. So, you know, I'll do whatever I think is right for us and for the show and for the listeners. Like, I don't want people to, like, I did a podcast and we had one camera the whole time. Difficult. Because it gets a little bit boring. You're just going to be seeing us in the same camera view.
Static shot.
You know what I'm saying? And, you know, but we're here to talk about cannabis. I hope you guys had a great time with that because we'll be doing this all the time. But we'll talk about cannabis now. You were talking a little bit about you had something interesting we talked about in pre-production. So share.
Well, what I want to talk about was the new vapes that are on the market pretty much today. And by new, I just mean new as in companies are now manufacturing their own vaporizing devices. And like, you know, they already make like the pods that you use, but now they're making their own devices. And the cool, and there's a cool thing and annoying thing about it. The cool thing is that in some cases they're supposed to be like safer, healthier alternative, whatever. They're using less metal, they're using a ceramic thing. The bad part about it, and I was explaining this to a customer today who was gonna buy a product from a brand like that, and I was like, yo, if you buy this only works with their products. if you go to a store that doesn't carry their products, you're assed out. And I showed him the PAX pod where I was like, yo, you buy this, you could use this brand on it, you can use this brand on it. You're pretty good at like most stores. And he was like, oh, well, I shop here all the time, so I think I'm good. And I was like, all right, we really only got like 3 flavors of that right now. So get used to that, because I don't know, it's weird. It's kind of like the same way people get mad at Apple for certain stuff. It's great. Whoever came up with that idea, he probably got a raise. But to the consumer, bro, you're now paying for a whole new device. And then it's so much harder to find these pods because, one, they're so new to the market. They're not everywhere. You know what I mean? And 2, if you don't like it, now you have like this whole device, and it's just...
All right, so you tell me this, because I'm not the most familiar with vapes. Granted, I know enough. I just don't use them a lot. What's the, I don't want to say shelf life, but how long do these devices normally last in general?
Yo, it depends. So I've really only used PAX pods, honestly. This isn't like an advertisement, by the way, but like,
shout out to PAX, by the way, just in case y'all trying to,
yeah, straight up.
Do some work.
My pods, like, I kind of smoke them typically, not quickly, but like, I'd ever like not finish them, I guess, unless I lose them. But the devices last forever.
Really?
Like, you could lose a pack. Like, I haven't seen either of my PAX pods in like a month and a half. I'm going to pick it up, charge it, and be able to use it just fine type shit. Like, they last.
Okay, I mean, so I don't want to bash PAX pods just after I shouted them out, but I hate the fact that it clogs so easily.
It depends on how you store them. And to be honest, if you've used any other like vape, you'll kind of sort of notice the same issue. For me, it's when like I lay him down, I just drop it in my car, and now it's upside down all night. Like, kind of just stupid, obvious reasons that I just get mad at myself for, honestly. Because there's nothing like getting into your car and you're about to hit your PAX that's always in your car.
Yeah, and you can't hit it. Like, so I vaped cannabis wise when it first like kind of was like a thing. Like, this is like what, 2016, 2017? It was like I was still at Enterprise.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2016, 2017. And it was, I mean, it was crazy because it's like, oh, I can just sit in my house and just get high, like, and just have no issues and nothing. And then the feeling of it kind of, it just felt weird. And then you hear all the weird stuff. And I know, like, we're making a PAX pod. I mean, we're making vapes here, are we not? We're manufacturing.
We will be eventually, yeah.
Can you speak? I don't know. I know you do a little bit more of the back meetings, and I mean, this is your second job in industry, so you know a little bit more. Do you know, or do you have any information on how ours will be safer than what people think? Because I feel like a lot of people are kind of worried about it. I don't know if you don't know, it's fine.
No, you set me up for a great question.
Oh,
I
that's
really
what
don't
I do.
know. I honestly just found out that we were making them at the same time that you did.
Okay.
So that's hilarious. I know Vic used to make them though. Vic's a worker here, but yeah, I know she was showing me a video of how they're made, and I'm like, whoa, it's kind of shocking. But it also makes sense that you mass produce them.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'll definitely try to get somebody up here to talk to us about it, or just ask and let you guys know, because I think it is important that we have stuff that are actually safe to use. Me personally, I don't mind using them, but it will be a much different experience for me when I know how safe it is, because that's why I smoke straight papers. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll try to find
keep it clean.
I'll try to find the healthiest way. If there's a better paper, I'll find. I seen a video of a girl that made paper out of like pineapple. Like, you seen it on Twitter?
Yeah, it looked like I saw the process for it. It was way too long. It was too much.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was too much stuff to do. Or no, and then she was actually selling them.
Yes,
she was selling them
pricey.
Yeah, that's what it was. They were pricey, and I was
my
like,
Lord.
No thanks. And like, I really don't even like pineapple like that. I don't know if I'm trying to taste it on every pull.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But the fear for vapes is very serious. Honestly, a lot of people still don't use them for that. For the reason that they were banned a few years ago. There's so much speculation about that was just because of street vapes. The ones in dispensaries were clean. And it messed up a lot of
Propaganda. I mean, no.
stuff. It messed up a lot of businesses because they had to take like their vapes right off the shelf like immediately, and then they had like thousands of dollars worth of vapes just sitting. And I want to say that some people definitely, like, when the vape ban was lifted,
They just put it right back up on the
put
shelf.
them right back out, which was so rude, bro. So rude. Like, as a customer and as a person who's worked in the industry, I know how to check testing data and see when stuff was packaged. And I'm like, yo, this vape was packaged, like, 8 months ago, a year ago. Like, I do not want this. I don't. And if I can't, like, know when it was packaged, I don't want it. Or if I can tell that, like, it's a brand's old packaging, I don't use it. I don't buy it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's something you have to learn. Like, being in the industry, you have to learn those things because I feel like everybody rushes to see how high the THC is when there are so many other things on that label that are just as important, if not more
100%.
important.
I was at a dispensary recently, and they had a PAX pod for like $20, bro, of a garlic strain, and I love garlic strains. So I was like, yo, what brand is it from? And I'm not going to say names, but they picked up the packaging, and I can see it was their old packaging. And I was like, yeah, I'm good. Like, $20 is a great deal for a PAX pod.
But there's a reason why it's 20.
There's always a reason.
There's
for
always
that
a
kind of
reason
stuff.
why it's
Always
the
a
price.
reason. I was getting bud for $30 an eighth at that same place, and I asked them why. It's because it was packaged back in like August, which all low key wasn't even that bad if you ask me. Only 6 months. It was a good strain. Picked up and not bad.
That's a fact. I mean, yeah, I mean, the packaging is a real big thing because, I mean, you could think back in the day if you were getting something from like a plug or something, sometimes he's getting it straight off the, it feel like he just pulled it right off the freaking branch and just put it in the bag. That's how moist it is. You know what I'm saying? And that's the one thing that is a little bit different about getting cannabis in store is that I don't feel like I get that feeling anymore. And I miss that. But I know it's very hard to do that because how
they go about it, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? How the industry is. You can't just, I'm going to just have this. You can't even grow in your own facility. Even if you do have the ability to grow or you have a grow facility and you have to go and take it from one place to another.
You gotta get it tested. You gotta send off a little sample, get that tested. Wait, because there's like only so many testing facilities in the state, so everyone's using the same few of them. So there's a long line. You get your bud back in like 2 weeks, and then you get to go about packaging that. And you can see all of that when you just look at the packaging. You can see the test date. You can see the packaging date. And that's why some stuff takes so long. And people will be like, why is this bud so dry? I'm like, it's been sitting around for a minute, bro. Like, what'd you expect?
Yeah. I mean, have you guys had any stuff that anybody you guys felt was not what you expected?
Like just from like dispensaries and stuff?
Yeah. Like, I mean, we've now been shopping at dispensaries. Yeah. Like, I mean, I don't know, when's the last time you grabbed something from a random person?
Like pre-COVID. Like I started shopping at dispensaries when COVID hit.
Oh yeah, because you started working at one.
Well, even prior to that, no dispensary. Weed got so bad when COVID hit, because that's also, and this was, I get so mad, bro. I get so mad. That's when like runts and exotics was a thing, and all of a sudden, your plug is like, oh yeah, that quarter that was 50 last week, I gotta do like 80 this week, bro. Some gas. Niggas started taxing for no reason, and honestly, I hadn't supported like dispensaries like that. I was like, stick to my local guy, you know what I'm saying, to help him out a small business.
Quick question, you want to talk to PK right now?
Yo, yeah, put him on.
Oh my God.
Do you got to put him next to the microphone?
Hey, PK.
What's good?
Can you hear him?
Yeah, I can hear him.
Don't say anything incriminating. We are actually on the podcast right now.
You already said his whole name.
Hey, what's good? What's going on?
We're just here talking about cannabis, just talking about, post-pandemic, pre-pandemic.
I haven't seen this dude in like a month. Shocker, bro.
My geyser.
I'm dead.
Is he still in Ghana?
No.
Oh, okay. Word.
He might as well be, though.
Yo, tell me about it. He's living like it.
He's living it, bro. Yeah, so we're doing a podcast, so I'm going to call you later. I mean, actually, did you have anything to share about cannabis? I mean, you did work in the industry for a little bit.
Hey, man, weed is life. Weed is good. Weed is great. That's all I have to say about weed for today.
All right, well, that's all we can say to you to do. So we're gonna hang up. Bye bye.
That felt like when you get someone in jail to rap on your track.
Like Kodak on
on
A$AP.
call drops,
Yes,
on call
yeah,
shots or whatever, yeah.
Yeah. All right, but I'm sorry. You were talking about.
Yeah. Okay, so pandemic hits and weed prices just skyrocket in the streets. And the prices skyrocket and the quality gets worse. Like, and as a dude who would buy in large amounts, like I'm not trying to hit the plug up every day. Like it's gas, meat, and get like an ounce, cop like your half. So to spend all of that money and just have trash was annoying.
See, the worst part was, and I know that this is a fact because I've had conversations with people who were actually doing these things, paying a little extra for packaging because they went and got it online and put the most weakest trash bud in a bag that says runts or has a cool Spider-Man picture on it, which is
pisses me
actually
off.
illegal in the industry. We can't
pisses
even
me
market
off.
to kids.
Yo, it's so disingenuous. Like I even know dudes who would like save their dispensary like
The bag?
containers and then put bud in there and be like, yeah, they think it's this bud, and I'm like, yeah, you're a real life dickhead. like you're going straight to hell, bro. That's so terrible. That's so bad.
Oh man, that's actually hilarious. That's
Bro, so that's why I started hitting dispensaries. I'm like, yo, if I'm gonna pay this much for a quarter either way, I might as well go do it legally.
yeah. No, it makes sense. So I'm gonna circle back to the vapes. What's your favorite type of vape?
I do prefer the PAX pod to a 510 thread. I think a 510 definitely has a better like pull on it. Like you get more smoke on your hit. But I think that the high that the PAX pod gives me is more of like I don't want to say clean because I guess they more or less feel the same, but I feel like it's a little bit more intense and it lasts for a little bit longer. I'd be puffing that bitch while I'm driving, and eventually I'm like, oh, I'm kind of clapped low key. Like, and it's not even that much smoke or nothing, so you can't really tell because if you just go off how much you blow out, you're like, I'm not blowing out nothing.
Yeah.
I think that thing's good.
Okay. And do you think that there's anything that we could do as a community to stop this epidemic of everyone making their own type of batteries or devices?
I honestly just assume that like they're gonna have to like crash and burn. You know what I mean? Like I think dudes are gonna slowly see brands like do it and see their products maybe not move, and they're just gonna be like, yeah, this person failed at it, and that's honestly probably just gonna incline people to like continue to make their own and be like, all right, that person failed. How can we learn from it and do better? But it's like, no, the 510 thread is like universal, bro.
Yeah.
Like I could buy a vape here, I can buy a vape across the country, and it'll go on that same device. So why you would make a device that only works for your products is so stupid. Now, granted, the ones that have done it are ones that are MSOs, they're multi-state operators. So, you know, you got people in Massachusetts, you got your people in Florida, you're kind of getting a larger base. But to do it in one, like, small place, it's not a good idea.
Well, it's kind of crazy because it's like having these cameras right here and having a different tripod for every single camera company, which would be ridiculous.
Stupid, bro.
Oh man. Well,
But again, for their marketing team, they're clapping it up. They're making money. For us, we're getting the short end of the stick as a customer and a consumer.
all right. Well, let me play some good tunes.
I like this.
Come on now.
I can't dance, by the way. Despite the color of my skin and the fact that I'm like African from both parents, can't dance.
Oh man. Yeah, we're gonna have to see that on camera one day.
No. You legitimately will never ever see me dance except for when I'm by myself. Like you gotta catch the security cameras because I be dancing for the cameras, bro. I be in here by myself, getting it.
But my thing is, your girl doesn't ever want to dance with you?
You don't go out or like dance. Nah, I've actually never ever been in a situation where I've like had to dance with her straight up.
Really?
Yeah, like part of like me not wanting to get married is because I'm not trying to dance in front of all these people straight up. Like, what?
Wait. All right. So we went. So if you guys didn't know, me and Ravon went to the same college, but just in different eras. Literally, we just missed each other a year, 1 year, and we would have been in the same school together. You never went to any of these.
No.
None of those events.
Nope. Woodland Commons. I don't even know what the inside of that place looks like.
Really?
I've only ever seen pictures. No.
I know you're not a Woodlands guy. No. And it was a much different.
Waiting in line in the cold, trying to get a fit off, and then to be in the dark all night. That don't make no sense.
Nah, but you see, they had the little outside area where that's where you put the trip out.
I wouldn't know because I ain't go. I spent so much time in my room alone smoking. It was so great. I didn't miss out on nothing,
See,
bro.
I see. That's a funny thing because if me and Ravon actually went to the same school, I promise you, I probably would have been like, I know your face, but I have no idea.
You wouldn't have crossed. Like you would have only known me because of the way I dressed.
Yes.
It was like, I see this kid. He dressed kind of nice.
Yeah,
cool.
Or I would have been your plug. This is before all these things.
Yeah.
That would have been either way how we crossed paths.
Yeah, I'm not even going front. Harry's the first person I know who did the Ace for 25, bro.
And here's the thing. He's actually told me that because I told him about how he was getting an Ace for 25 off dude who lived in my building and like how he revolutionized the game. And Harry was like, "Whoa, hold on a second."
Yeah,
he did that already.
He was still in middle school by the time I was doing that.
But nah, the Ace, the Trey 5 for 25, like it rhymed. It just,
bro,
it was crazy,
bro. And it was just like fresh off the oven, hot cakes coming in and out type joint. And it just ruined everything.
And they fit in the birch cups, like nothing, bro. like crazy.
Nah, I used to have like the same Shaw's bag and just be ripping piece after piece and just be tying it up.
You was using cardboard?
No, I was using This is before they went to paper.
Okay.
This is when they were plastic. So I'll just take the plastic, rip it up, boom, tie that joint. Here, you're on your way.
That's hilarious. Being a plug was interesting.
In college is very stressful.
It was really nice to have a plug be my Dell mate at one point. That was great.
That would be nice.
Snow days, I just knocked on homie's door. It was great.
That would have been the greatest. Like I would have been like, oh, now I know my man's gonna come grab from me later, so I gotta make sure I got something for him. That would have been nice.
It was nice.
That would have been nice. Well, thank God I survived without any hiccups in the business. I did get in trouble for like blocking the joint.
Yeah, that's a federal crime.
No, I'm hip.
Yeah,
I'm hip.
You beat the case.
So when I got into the office, she was talking to me and was just like, "Yo, this is very serious." Then I low key did like a really sad story. I was just like, "Oh, listen, man. I'm like, let me get together." I was like, so like, honestly, me having like double jeopardy on like my it'll be really bad for my family and stuff like that and be a lot to bear. So is there any way that we can like try to find another option? And she goes, you know what, if you make a flyer talking about why fire safety is important, you're good to go.
Only you can prevent forest fires.
Yo, it was I was like, I almost smiled right in front of her.
I would have. I really would.
I was like, no problem, man. I can do that. I had my boy Jimmy. He made that for me in 5 minutes, and we got it out there.
Shout out to Jimmy.
Shout out to Jimmy, man. Shout out to Jimmy. Yeah. Besides that, I mean, how's your day been going so far? I know you've been working all day.
Man, I'll be honest with you. I'm tired.
Yeah?
Man. I've been here since I was late, so I've been here since 8:51. Supposed to be at 8:45, but it's whatever. You know what I'm saying? Took a nap when I put on the coffee. It's been a rough day actually. I had a whole monologue with the camera earlier for 2 minutes. I took off my hat. I won't do it on camera because I don't want you to see my hair. Took off my hat. I slammed it down. And I went over to the camera and I was talking. And I was like, yo, you guys need to mic us up and put a camera downstairs for confessionals because I'm sick of this shit. I need you guys to hear me out. I know you guys can see me out here tweaking, but you got to hear what I'm saying. I was really mad at these programs I'm working with. This nothing like doing stuff and then emailing like your administrator like, yo, can't really do this. And the administrator emails you back like, here's a video on how to do it. And I'm like, all right, word. That's exactly what I've been doing. It's not working for me.
Doesn't work.
Yeah, man. A lot of stuff goes on up there in like my little office area. A lot of stuff.
Oh,
Yeah. You IT guys can maybe help me out, honestly, low key. Probably not, but like,
no. I mean, no, low key. I'll tell you this. All right, so for people who don't know, and none of you guys do know because this is the first episode, I work in IT. I am new in IT. And the amount of stuff you learn in like a week is pretty crazy. Like, I didn't say I've had some experience with computers. I'm not like a freaking, I use computers. I grew up with computers, so I know how to use them. I know when something's going wrong, how to do it.
That kid used to download Super Nintendo on his computer. Don't listen to this guy.
First off, we used to do a lot of things. You know what I'm saying?
Not the only thing he was downloading.
Hold on. Okay, listen. All right, so you know what? We're going to go through this. I was never really a porn person either. Like, so I talked a little bit about how I didn't really smoke until college. Mm-hmm. I didn't really watch porn until college either.
That's hilarious. You're way late. I thought I was late. You're way late.
No, it was. We used to back in the day. We used to go try to, but I wasn't really like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't really like invested.
Hold on. So when did you get the Bang Bros subscription, or when did your friend give you the Bang Bros subscription?
I was in college.
Oh shit.
That was my roommate in college.
Oh, it was a subscription and everything.
Oh, bro. All right. So before
your
there was
first time, you were given a golden wand, bro. Straight up, you was given a real subscription.
Listen, before there was Pornhub and all that easy way to get it, you used to have to either get like a small snippet. Or you know what I'm saying? You was you was struggling with it.
You're just using pictures, I guess.
There was definitely some rough patches, man.
There was some rough patches.
In the olden days.
So you used to be able to go on Google and just type in Bang Bros passwords, and there would be hundreds of passwords you can just choose from, usernames and passwords, and that's how motherfuckers used to watch porn in college.
I'm gonna be honest. Of course, a kid we tried that. I ain't never struck success on any of those things.
Bro, but the funny thing is, my roommate in college, his goal, and Greg, if you're hearing, if you listen to this, I'll put you out there because you are hilarious. His goal in life was to get into the porn industry. He wanted to be in the porn industry. Granted,
I hope he's there.
He's engaged in a stay-at-home dad type shit. But when he was a freshman in college, he really wanted to be in the industry, which was hilarious to me. He was like, yo, if you see any movies and it says, actually, I'm not gonna go to it because it's getting too deep. It's getting too.
He's a stay-at-home.
It's getting too deep. Besides that, yeah, I don't know if there's anything else we want to talk about.
Starting in college is wild, actually. Starting in college is pretty.
It was crazy. I had sex before I pleasured myself.
You walked before you crawled.
Yeah,
that's what you're telling me. Straight up. How'd you know what you was doing? How'd you know when you was gonna finish? You've never felt that before.
No, okay, so
these are real questions.
Yeah, I don't know. It's funny because I really think, and honestly, it's so funny because I was dead thinking about this the other day. I was like, what I thought sex was before I had sex, low-key was better than sex.
Oh wow, that's.
Well, I wouldn't say that because I do love sex, but it was just such of a anticipation feeling. You know, it was you're just anticipating something. Imagine you see a picture of you guys do IG and shit. I don't do IG that much anymore. But imagine seeing those pictures on IG and you're like, oh, this is gonna taste amazing. And then you actually taste it and it's really good. But what I had in my mind was an imagination far wider. But yeah, we're almost at an hour.
Oh, that's crazy.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah, I got dinner.
Anything else you want to share with anybody?
Well, nah. If I'm here full time, you guys will hear from me next week, I guess.
Yeah, we'll be here next week. Before we leave, what else do I have to share? The Lakers are playing the Nets right now. I really hope my team actually.
Yeah, the Celtics are playing right now too.
The Celtics are playing. AD is back.
Is it an away game? Is Kyrie playing tonight? Oh, KD's out, so it's not even a full strength matchup.
I think it's.
Nets are home.
Nets are home, but is Kyrie playing?
No.
Oh,
Nets are home.
Wow. Okay, so we better get the win because if we just lose to James Harden, which I respect him 100%, but AD's back, LeBron.
They might swap him for John Wall straight up.
Did we not talk about this? The swap for John Wall for Russell Westbrook? Why I would do that.
If you're the Lakers, you wouldn't do that, Kofi?
Can John Wall still play?
He looks really slow.
Why you wouldn't take him over Russ right now?
When's the last time John Wall played?
He just
I
not,
don't give a fuck.
yeah, he's just not playing because the team doesn't want to ruin their chemistry
Yeah.
on a dude who is gonna definitely ruin the
You
chemistry.
got Jalen Green and Kevin Porter Jr. down there balling out.
So this is why I know it's not gonna happen though. If you have John Wall not playing because of the chemistry,
You're not bringing it
yeah,
up.
unless Russ just wants to get paid to chill.
No,
which-
yes, he's doing like that veteran thing on the bench.
I don't even think it's more so of a chemistry thing. It's just more so they're going with the youth movement. So they're like doing what a lot of teams were doing, just pay the man and he sits at home.
Yeah, but
They don't want Russ anymore. Why would they want to get back Russ?
So what would John Wall do for you guys right now instead of Russ?
he'll make a layup. I'm not even gonna, I'm not gonna bash my team right now. We're gonna say this for another episode. I can't even bash my team right now. We're gonna go into a whole thing and it's gonna be bad. I just pray to God that we get to like the 5th seed, so we don't have to do this playing, and so we can get these rings.
That playing shits.
It's really bad. Yeah. Besides that, yeah. Again, we are at Major Bloom 76 Millbury Street. This is For the Record. I'm your host Harry here with my co-host Ravon, and we'll have a great show next week as well. Holla at me.
Sure hope so.
Peace.